Good morning to you. This is that crash that we were telling you about earlier here, this large intersection that we're going to get out to with our Marina Silva reporting live there near Sherman Drive, where a big chunk of this street is closed down this morning. I know a lot of you are about to begin your morning commute, but we also are just checking back in with police to see if they can give us any update. Unfortunately, it was a deadly crash here that we've learned.
Yeah, so we have seen a lot with this and the traffic issues, so we'll get to that in just a moment with more details. But first, we want to get you caught up on traffic. We do know that the weather could be some issue out there for drivers because of this fog.
Yeah, make sure you give yourself extra time because the visibility is low and it is dropping. Now, it's not as if you can't see everywhere. There's some spots where it's just kind of lurking around a little bit, and there's other spots where it's really thick. But it is a cool and gray start this morning. There's just enough of a light northeast wind that's mixed in the air enough, so we just have some fog, but it's not as if you can't see. Chris Kindlemart, as it's being set up over the past couple of weeks here in Carmel, opening up here soon. You can even see some of the low clouds there on the south side of Eagle Creek this morning. So give yourself a little extra time. This is a live look downtown where you can see when you're driving, but it definitely looks hazy and you can't even see the tops of some of the skyscrapers this morning. We're holding at 42 degrees. It's a cool start. And we're not going to see temperatures jump very much because I think the gray skies, the clouds, the overcast conditions are likely going to last much of the day. Maybe a few sun breaks later this afternoon and evening. But the first story this morning is the fog. We're watching the visibility start to lower there in Zionsville and Crawfordsville down to 1 mile visibility. It's kind of like diving in a score. The lower the number, the worse off you are. But 3 miles visibility in Newcastle, 4 in Richmond. So we'll keep a close eye on this fog this morning. It is really thick across parts of the state.
All right, Matt, thank you. And now the latest on that breaking news on the east side, where Metro Police are on the scene investigating a fatal accident.
Sherman Drive near 25th Street is where there are a lot of police cars right now. They just gave us an update about 15 minutes ago. Let's get to Marina Silva, who is sharing what we know this morning.
Good morning. We do know that one person is dead and another person is in the hospital in serious condition here at 25th and Sherman. It's going to be closed down for a while, so let me show you what we're seeing right now. We are told that when IMPD got here, they found one car that had hit a pole. You can see that this pole is split up on top. AES and Public Works are already here. We also see another pole that looks like it has fallen down. This is going to be closed for a while. We're told that they are still conducting their investigation. Police again have confirmed one person did die and another person is in serious condition at the hospital. IMPD is telling us that they will be giving us an update here shortly, so we should be getting more information as to what happened around this crash, but it's going to be shut down, like I said, for a while. Lindsay, do you know of any other routes that people can take?
Yeah, Sherman Drive, a pretty big thoroughfare, especially closer to that morning rush hour. So let's talk about where this is located and some of those recommended alternate routes to avoid this stretch that is now closed. Where Marina was located, kind of right there at 25th and North Sherman Drive right here. They have this whole stretch actually blocked in between 28th and Mass Ave. So you're going to want to stick with an alternate route, which is a north-south oriented roadway. You can do Emerson Avenue to the east or any of these north-south oriented roads. It's within the city. There's a lot of options here. If you want a perhaps more commonly used roadway, you could stick with Dearborn Street or Keystone Avenue as well as those alternate routes. We're also keeping an eye on some busy traffic coming out of the North Split in this construction zone. We are still down to one lane on 65 southbound, so things are running a little slow there on the near east side in those collector lanes. Guys?
All right. Thank you, Lindsay. This morning, we're tracking the latest developments after 2 town marshals were shot after a traffic stop in Clinton County.
2 others were also shot in the incident. So we first brought you this as breaking news last night at 11. So we know that the suspects were also hurt in this, and it happened around just before 9 near Michigan Town, northeast of Frankfort. You can see that yellow box there. That's where Anna Chalker is with the very latest from overnight. Good morning.
Good morning, ladies. So still not a lot of new information so far, but this is a scene that's been stretching 10 hours at this point. It has started to clear up here on State Road 29. I'll step out of the way so you can see what's still behind me so far. The cops actually just left. They've been clearing out the scene within the last 5 minutes or so. State Road 29 finally back open this morning. It has been closed since 9 o'clock last night, and state police are telling us this all started as a traffic stop when a Clinton County Sheriff's deputy deputy was asking those two Kirkland Town marshals for help on this traffic stop. So let's take you back to the scene when our crew first got here last night. It was a busy one that shut down State Road 29. More than 20 police vehicles from all different agencies here in this area. They say when this started as a traffic stop, they found the suspect and 3 other adults and 1 child in the suspect vehicle. When officers were able to get everyone out of the car, police say that's when the suspect shot at the officers, hitting the 2 Kirkland Town marshals. ISP says the officers then exchanged fire, hitting the suspect and 1 of the other passengers. They, along with 1 of the town marshals, were taken to Indianapolis hospitals. We are checking on all of their conditions this morning. And again, like we said, several hours into this investigation, state police say this is still in the early stages.
We're really early in the investigation. We're still working to gather all the facts, but we want to make sure that we take our time in something like this and make sure we gather all the information and do a proper investigation during it.
Now, that other officer who was shot, the Kirkland Town marshal, they were not injured. State police say the bullet hit their bulletproof vest. The suspect is in police custody at the hospital, and we know there's no threat to Michigan Town here this morning. And back here live, you can see a little more going on here. There is an officer backing up right now, directing some traffic as this scene has cleared here on State Road 29. We are reaching out to state police if there is any new information into this investigation so far, as well as the condition of the 1 officer who is in the hospital and the suspect and the other passenger who was shot in this. But to recap, 4 people were shot in total in this, those 2 Kirkland Town marshals, and the suspect and a passenger.
Yeah, well, with so many moving parts to this, it sounds like we see why their investigation is in the very early stages. Anna, thank you for that update. Well, new insight this morning into the decision to charge a homeowner with voluntary manslaughter after he allegedly shot a cleaning crew worker who showed up at the wrong house.
It's a story that's made national, even international headlines in the last couple of weeks. This is original video from the scene, which happened on November 5th when police first responded. According to the latest documents, Kurt Anderson told police he thought someone was breaking into his home, says he panicked and then just shot his gun through the front door without opening it.
Well, since Monday's announcement, we've heard a lot of questions still about the decision to charge Anderson with voluntary manslaughter. We took those questions to IU law professor Jody Madeira to get some context.
Charging recklessness would be undercharging. Charging first-degree murder would be overcharging. And so likely the jury will see this as a fear-driven overreaction and not calculated malice. And so voluntary manslaughter is a really good charge.
Well, Anderson is still being held without bond at last check, with his first court appearance this week on Friday.
The family of a National Guardsman killed in a crash here last week is speaking out.
They're accusing Indiana Senator Jim Banks of using the death of Specialist Terry Fry as a political prop. So Banks posted on social media claiming that Specialist Fry's life was cut short on I-65 by, quote, an undocumented immigrant who never should have been here in the first place.
Well, Fry's family saw that and they've responded to that, Senator, saying, quote, on behalf of Terry Fry's family, we need to make something absolutely clear. Terry's death is not a political prop. He was a son, a father, a soldier, a deeply loved member of our family long before he was a headline. Turning the worst moment of our lives into a talking point for any political agenda is inappropriate and hurtful. They go on to say they do appreciate the condolences, but the tragedy is being weaponized. Please let our family grieve without being pulled into politics.
Specialist Fry died in that crash on I-65 near Whitestown last Friday. And a crash report reveals the driver of a dark blue Dodge Ram with a trailer attached changed lanes abruptly. And investigators say the National Guard Humvee that he was in went into the grass median and crashed while trying to get back on the road.
Coming up on 6:09, there's a growing frustration at a local apartment complex. It's on the northeast side of Indy.
Yeah, well, now Attorney General Todd Rokita is actually suing this complex, Lake Castleton, saying that the property owner and managers ignored over 100 health citations. The issues range from doors not working properly to broken air conditioning to sewage backups and mold and even pest infestations.
Yeah, and these are issues people there are living with. So over the past 24 hours, we've heard from so many residents who really want action. One told us in March things were starting to look up, and then they weren't.
I came and I looked at the property and it was beautiful at the time. It was absolutely gorgeous. Just trying to get as far away from this place as possible, somewhere safe I can bring my baby home and just start fresh.
Now, this lawsuit is seeking compensation for tenants, emotional distress damage, even civil penalties.
Well, the civil penalties could be up to $5,000 for each known violation to this apartment complex.
Well, now some Indianapolis residents tell us they're planning to protest this weekend because of concerns about an intersection near downtown.
They want the city to do something to make it safer. This is a 6-stop intersection along Mass Ave, St. Clair, and College. The city did put up some barriers after a deadly drunk driving crash in March of 2024.
But neighbors say they're going to hold a rally on Sunday at 1 o'clock, hoping to spark change. This is a really popular area near downtown with lots of people walking and crossing streets here. DPW leaders say they are mapping out some changes that they hope to make next summer.